Tonight I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier.
In the wake of U.S.-led airstrikes on key Iranian nuclear facilities, officials across the United States are ramping up security preparations amid growing fears of retaliatory attacks on American soil. On June 23rd, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem held high-level calls with governors and law enforcement leaders across the country, emphasizing the need for vigilance in light of heightened tensions. The Department of Homeland Security clarified that the calls were not linked to any specific threat, but rather part of proactive coordination to ensure all levels of government remain alert and informed. A DHS spokesperson told Fox News that it is the department's duty to equip state and local agencies with the information they need to safeguard their communities during times of international conflict. This comes as United States officials are sounding the alarm regarding the threat of terror-backed sleeper cells within the country. Earlier, Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, publicly warned that Iranian sleeper cells may already be embedded in the U.S., quietly awaiting orders to strike. As per reports, Iran had issued a chilling warning to the United States before the U.S. surprise attack on 3 Iranian nuclear sites, threatening to activate sleeper cells if attacked. The warning was reportedly conveyed to Trump through an intermediary during last week's G7 summit in Canada, a meeting the president left early amid rising tensions in the Middle East. Notably, sleeper cells are trained agents who remain inactive and live quiet lives until ordered to strike without warning. Sleeper cells, by definition, consist of trained agents who live ordinary lives under deep cover until activated to carry out attacks with little or no warning. Federal agencies like the FBI and DHS are now operating at a heightened state of alert, closely monitoring individuals and networks with suspected links to Iranian proxies. In major U.S. cities, police departments in New York, Washington, D.C., and Los Angeles have issued public advisories and boosted their presence at religious, cultural, and diplomatic locations.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. and we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say, we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel. And God bless America.
It is irrelevant to ask Iran to return to diplomacy, because we were in the middle of diplomacy. We were in the middle of talks with the United States when Israelis blew it up. And again, we were in the middle of talks and negotiation with Europeans, happened only 2 days ago in Geneva, when this time Americans decided to blow it up. So we were in diplomacy, but we were attacked militarily. So it was not Iran, but the US who betrayed diplomacy. They betrayed negotiations. When at the middle of negotiations with us, they gave green light to Israelis, if not instructed them to attack Iran's nuclear facilities. I think they have proved that they are not men of diplomacy, and they only understand the language of threat and force. And this is very unfortunate. The United States showed that they have no respect to United Nations Charter. They have no respect to international law. They have no respect to any international law regarding, managing the world and facing challenges of the world. There is no red line that they have not crossed. And the last one, and the most dangerous one, happened only last night, when they crossed a very big red line by attacking nuclear facilities. I don't know how much room is left for diplomacy. We are now calculating the damages. And as I said, the damages are not only for our nuclear facilities. The damages are for the United Nations Charter. It was not only Iran's facilities which was bombed, it was also the United Nations Charter. It was also Non-Proliferation Regime and NPT, which was bombed last night by Americans. And it was the rule of law and international law which was bombed. So now we have to see how much room is left for diplomacy, and we will decide.